I got to call Sister Juanita too, figure out how I'm gonna record both of us at the same time. But hey, I get off and I come on and I see, wait a minute, Starky Farmstead does it again. And the same exact things that we were discussing. Let's see now. Put this on mute. Read. Well, don't let me tell you.
And wing level. All right, what am I reading to you guys? I am reading to you guys an article that I found from Joint Base Andrews. So if you're following what is happening right now with the airplane that went down by DC, right? There's Andrews Air Force Base right there. We're hearing that it's a military helicopter that basically tracked this plane and hit it. But here's what I am asking you guys. Were there actually pilots on the Black Hawk? And if there were pilots on the Black Hawk, were they in control of the helicopter? And no, it's not tinfoil. I'm fixing to break this down step by step. What AI can do in a plane, you guys, not just planes and helicopters, the whole 9 yards, because we're a lot more advanced than the average American realizes. And I'm fixing to show it to you right now.
It's called Vista, an unmanned fighter jet piloted by artificial intelligence, flying head-to-head in a dogfight with a manned F-16, even outperforming the human pilot.
Defense officials say the U.S. is the only military in the world with this technology, successfully flying a jet with artificial intelligence. And this is the first time cameras have been allowed to see it.
Up till now, there has not been a pathway for machine learning agents to control the flight critical systems of an aircraft.
On Thursday, the Air Force Secretary made an unannounced trip to Edwards Air Force Base, suiting up and going for a ride in a mock dogfight, flying nearly the speed of sound, separated by just 1,000 feet from the manned fighter jet. He says the technology still needs work.
We see a ways to go with it, but making good progress.
But some test pilots aren't sure.
This artificial intelligence, this robot, and they're so new, and we don't really understand fully how they work.
So you don't trust the aircraft to be flown by AI at this point?
No, not really.
Like drones, they could fly ahead of manned aircraft during combat, conducting strikes too dangerous for human pilots. But unlike drones, the computer will be in charge, not an operator thousands of miles away. And even though humans will still be involved in making key decisions, this raises serious questions.
Is that a possibility, really, this kind of technology going rogue?
I think it's too early to say it is or it isn't.
Do you ever see a point of fully autonomous weapons? So U.S. Air Force aircraft that are fully autonomous weapons?
We're not going to unleash killer robots on the battlefield to kill anything they want. That's not going to happen. We're going to make sure that we comply with the laws of war.
Kendall says the future is not far away. AI could be in cockpits in the next few years. Computers flying missions once considered too complicated for anything but the human mind, soon changing the face of combat aviation. Courtney Cubey, NBC News, Edwards Air Force Base.
Thanks, everyone.
There it is. That's where they've been doing. To you guys too, hit the like button, drop it where you are watching from. Guys, this is like breaking in the discussion of what happened to this airplane. So we know that there were professional U.S., Olympic ice skaters. There was a Russian couple on this plane. But we also know a Black Hawk helicopter, basically, it looked like the helicopter tracked it. I'm going to show you guys that. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article from November 27th of 2023 from the Joint Base Andrews. That is Andrews Air Force Base. It says non-technical phantoms excel at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Artificial Intelligence program. A select few airmen from across the world have emerged from the shadows to tackle a variety of different artificial intelligence projects for the Department of the Air Force. What they share in common is their desire to bridge the digital divide and bring AI back to their home units to solve problems. Not all these airmen are engineers or programs. These airmen are called phantoms. The Phantom program is a comprehensive fellowship at the Department of the Air Force, along with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology AI Accelerator, which provides opportunities to learn from the brightest minds in AI. Personnel accepted to the program are called phantoms and work along some of the top AI researchers in the world, as well as with other airmen and guardians who drive long-term DAF MIT AI projects. Over a 5-month period, phantoms provide their subject matter expertise to various projects and generate new processes for transitioning AI from research to operational use. Exactly, Kent. Remember the movie War Games? Hello, North Carolina. So guys, this is so important because the information is readily out there. We're not talking science fiction. I'm not talking tinfoil hat, conspiracies. I'm talking real science. It says that under the auspice of DAF MIT AI Accelerator, phantoms delve into the deepest realms of AI, pushing past traditional boundaries and showcasing an unparalleled zeal for adapting to the digital age. So what boundaries would they be talking about? The fact that you kind of need a human pilot in that helicopter, in that fighter jet? Well, I just showed you a video of a fighter jet flying with nobody in it. So if they can do that with a fighter jet, could they not also do that with a helicopter? I'm just asking. Every cohort in the fellowship is composed of both technical and non-technical phantoms. Phantoms are directly sourced from their career field managers. Non-technical phantoms are unique in the sense that they don't necessarily have a background in computer science. All phantoms require their commander's approval to participate in this program. Now, this program is running out of Andrews Air Force Base. You're very welcome, Savvy Saab, about the dogs and the ivermectin and stuff. Very welcome. It says the unstructured, results-oriented nature of the Phantom program resonated, allowing him the freedom to dictate the course of his research, all while harnessing the vast resources at MIT and within the AI Accelerator. The program honed his ability to manage time efficiently, seek out answers autonomously, and engage in a fruitful exchange of ideas with his cohort. So I'm trying to fast forward through so you don't have to listen to all that. It says, as a force support professional,
All right, boys, who we betting on? The sports book for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
I think the last time we were in this room, I was handing out the checks to you guys.
That's right.
I think may have been the case. So, well, it's great to be back in Jacksonville. I don't know if you guys had quite the snow that we did on the western part of the state in the north, but it was quite a last day or two for Florida. We smashed records for snow. I think we got almost 10 inches or maybe even 10 inches in some parts of Northwest Florida. I know we had a freeze across the rest of the northern part of the state, but pretty remarkable. And so we're thawed out. We're going to hopefully see the corner. You know, everyone should still visit Florida. This is totally unusual. It's not necessarily, I mean, I thought global warming had stopped this, right? And yet here we are. So come and do it. Now, we're here to discuss pending issues for the state, particularly for next week in this special session of the Florida legislature that I have called. We're joined here in this roundtable by Dave Kerner, who runs Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles, which also includes Florida Highway Patrol. Of course, Representative Cayenne Michaels, Florida House of Representatives, 16th District. Sheriff T.K. Waters here, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. And then Nick Injegno, did I say that right? Assistant Secretary, Agent in Charge, Department of Homeland Security Investigations. And so we have been in Florida, and not just Florida, I mean certainly Republicans around the country, for 4 years were complaining about Biden's border policies. He obviously came in almost 4 years ago now, reversed what Trump 45 had done, basically opened the borders to this country in ways that had huge numbers of people, millions and millions of people pouring in. And it led to, I mean, I don't know if you saw, they did an ICE operation, I think in Boston, and they got this criminal. This guy had been convicted of things, still sitting there. So they grab him and they're going to deport him. And he's like MFing all this stuff. He says he's not going back to Haiti. I'm thinking, like, they developed a sense of entitlement about those Biden policies where people thought they could come in and break the law with impunity. But that's what it was. And I know all across this country, certainly all across this state, Republicans who are running for office, especially, saying how they were against it. You know, you can't do. So we've been fighting this fight for a number of years, both working with law enforcement here in Florida, but also just having good policy that deters people from wanting to come illegally to our state in the first place. And if you think about it, 2023, we did sweeping reforms. Cayenne was involved with shepherding those through. Massive reforms to discourage illegal immigration. The media was saying our whole economy would collapse because we were discouraging illegal, which is totally false, and we've continued to grow very, very significantly. But one of the things we did E-Verify for new hires. We required hospitals to collect and report on the healthcare costs incurred by illegal immigrants, because you show up to the emergency room by federal law, they have to serve you. They're not permitted to turn you away, even if you're not lawfully here. So we were trying to do that. And what's happened since then? Massive decrease in costs, incredible decrease in costs. So there were all these different things that we've done to be able to fight back against that. And we even had a transport program. I mean, you saw a big change in the debate on the border once you had illegals showing up in Martha's Vineyard. I mean, that was like, they didn't even think about it. Then all of a sudden that happened a couple years ago. Then people started talking about the border more and more. So there was a whole host of things that we've done. We've leaned in. We've sued Biden under Attorney General Moody. Now she's our U.S. Senator now, but she was the Attorney General then, did that. And we're happy to lead that. But the reality is there's only so much a state can do. You need the federal government to do its job. Well, now we saw on January 20th the total change in policy with respect to border and illegal immigration under the Trump 47 administration. So this is a great opportunity for our country, but certainly for people that have been complaining about Biden for the last 4 years. You want to now get in the fight and be part of the solution. And it's simple things like, I had to surge boats in South Florida 2 years ago because they're coming in and people they get to the shore. So we surged in boats and we interdicted a lot of them, turn them over to the Coast Guard, they send them back. A lot of them come from Haiti and some of these other countries over there. But if they got to the shore, then somehow Biden would let them stay. Well, now they've already beefed up the Coast Guard, but we're going to get, if they show up on the shore, we should still be able to just send them right back. Why would we engage in all this stuff? So there's a lot of possibilities for us now that we have federal partners that really want to get the job done. So you look at it, you can be thankful that yes, borders matter, the law matters again, but you still got to implement all this stuff. And I'm telling you, you're going to have states like California, you're going to have cities like Chicago. They are going to try to frustrate and to stop any type of enforcement of immigration laws. I think a lot of those political elected officials have already come out and said that, but certainly you'll see the ACLU filing lawsuits. I mean, I think they basically think you have a right to come here illegally whenever you want. And they will try to find a liberal judge, maybe it'll be in Hawaii, that will rule for them. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts. So it's not like it's just you do an executive order and all of a sudden all the pieces fall into place. You also have a fact that really it's been probably 10, 15 years since they've really been very, very pro. I mean, a lot of the resources, a lot of the policies changed over many years. And so, yes, it was way worse under Biden, but I think this is the first time in a long time we've really been committed in a big way from day one. So this is really, really good, but they don't have enough resources, the federal government. They're not going to be able to do this by themselves. And if the states and cities are fighting in the blue states, that's going to make it even more difficult. So here we are in Florida with a chance to help make a difference and to be part of the solution once again. We banned sanctuary cities my first year as governor, and we're not a sanctuary state. So local officials, state officials obviously are gonna follow, but you don't have the right to block any type of immigration enforcement, and if you do that, you can lose your job. And certainly, if I have any authority over it, you will lose your job if you do that. But that's not enough. It's not just saying you won't sabotage the federal government enforcing immigration law. We want our localities, municipalities, counties, and of course state, which I could just order. We want all them to help facilitate this important mission. Not displace the federal government's role. Obviously, it's their primary responsibility.
You got a little extra on the books, right? Oh boy, I tell you, too much going on, isn't it? Well, folks, that rallies up the rally, and these self-propelling helicopters, drones, just like we had announced it in our live. Well, hold up. That's not my page, that's her page. That's my page. So here, this one particularly, that's where it starts the ball game. And we've been covering ever since, and we have gotten our final confirmation in there. And then I did another one we are on now, because Starky Farmstead, you want to go to her page, she always got good stuff pertaining to the people. That's her page. So I'm BC the Tishvite, BC the Ivet Group. Truth is out. The world don't like you because you belong to the power plasmic of the divine. Remember that. Never forget it.